to be a little bit more optimized and be a little bit more productive contributors. And so as many of you on the phone most likely know, between 5 and 20% of your revenue really comes from, or I'm sorry, almost 80% of your revenue typically comes from only 5 to 20% of your partners. And so in this particular model with IDC, you can see that 5% of the partners are really contributing the most revenue. And there's another 15% or so that are making decent contributions, but it's always great to be able to pick a couple of partners out of there and be able to optimize them a little bit more to contribute a little bit more to your bottom line. And then the other 80%, certainly if there's ways to rationalize that, streamline that, make that scale a little bit more so that you can focus your efforts on that top 20% that's really contributing most of your revenue. That's really what the game's all about. And so we'll talk a little bit about some of the ideas that Savo can bring to the table to be able to help you to do just that. So, I think, again, everybody on the phone is probably familiar with some of these, but there's some pretty significant challenges to enabling a channel, especially the larger your channel gets and the more dependent your business is on it. Sometimes it becomes a little bit more tricky. So what IDC discussed last week is that there's really sort of 3 big buckets in terms of channel challenges. So the first one is that it's becoming increasingly hard to differentiate at the program level. So recently I wrote a blog, but when you think about it, in some ways enabling your channel is a little bit like the evolution of TV. I'm one of those people that grew up with about 5 channels when I was a kid. And so you had a pretty limited choice, and now you've got cable and you've got hundreds of channels. And it's the same thing when you look at your partners. They have a lot of different choices in terms of